It's showtime.
Good morning, Vietnam! Welcome to the party, pal!
See you at the party, Richter! I didn't kill my wife!
I don't care!
Get away from her, you bitch!
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
You did not going to say that, did you?
What I do have are a very particular set of skills.
The dude abides.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Inconceivable!
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
This is a tasty burger.
Face.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
I'm the bad guy?
And Hulk. Smash.
I can speak with an English accent.
Hit the hash pipe and join the National Guard. I could be elected president.
You went over my helmet?
What would you prefer? Yellow spandex? I know, right?
The list is in the open!
Hey, where are the white women at?
They're digging in the wrong place.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Are you not entertained?
Second start of the ride. And straight on till morning.
Meow.
You son of a bitch.
1.21 gigawatts!
Wax on, wax off.
Oh my goodness, I am sporting a tremendous woody right now.
Bartender is the aristocrat of the working class.
You're gonna flip 6 3-hole play and you could score.
Cover me.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. On this team, we fight for that itch.
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
No ticket.
No ticket.
I get older, they stay the same age.
It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. He's 15.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Hope is a good thing. Maybe the best of things. And no good thing ever dies.
Good evening, and welcome to the Reel McCoy. I'm your host, Meffistoe, and always with me, my hetero life mate. Oh, my feelings. How are you, sir? He is not here yet from the bathroom
we
break.
got a stinker today.
Shut up. What do you mean today? What do you mean today?
Well, this month.
What is the Reel McCoy? You might ask. The Reel McCoy is your weekly movie podcast where we ask you to go watch a movie. You watch it, come back to us, and we break it down for you. And welcome to all the Salty Nerd podcasters that got over here after the Salty Nerd show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This month, if you haven't been here last week, we started July, fabulous July, with sort of homage to the summer blockbuster scene, I think. And we are covering bad comic book adaptations into movies. Now, last week, I wasn't sure we're going to have a show, but we did. And we covered Tank Girl with Mr. Drew. Oh, My Feelings doesn't know who he is. It's okay. I didn't know either. It was a great guy. Nice little disabled veteran. Was a great talk. And he didn't like the movie as much as I did. As much as I didn't. Never mind.
No love for
no love for Tank Girl. And I made a massive boo-boo. I was completely and utterly sure Joey Pants was in this movie.
No, Joey Pants was not in Tank Girl.
He was not. It was a guy called John Carver, I think. And I was like, he kept going like, he's Booga. He's that. He's like, oh my God. I was so embarrassed after that show. I was so embarrassed. It's like, Joey Pants, he's not in this movie. What the fuck? What the hell is going on? Anyway, so I'm sorry. I apologize. I will take the licking and keep on ticking. It's a good thing nobody saw that podcast. But if you did, if you didn't, go watch it. Have a laugh at my expense. It's fine. It's all good. I still didn't like the movie.
I'll have to watch it.
But the movie that kind of inspired this entire month and had a pretty profound sort of impact on the industry is the movie we're going to talk about today, which is Batman and Robin. So, Oh My Feelings, how many times have you tortured yourself this week to prepare for the show?
Twice. Once was a very lengthy judgment. As I told you, I marked down all of the puns, and I'm going to try to not interrupt every single bit of conversation by going, so this is when he says this dumb bit.
Okay.
But we'll see.
All right.
But twice overall.
Cool. All right. I, on the other hand, I've watched this in the middle of the week, but I wasn't really paying attention, so I rewatched it today. And when I was paying attention, oh boy, oh boy, did I find all the things that I didn't like about this movie, and Arnold was the least offensive of them. And I'm not even joking. And I thought he would be the most offensive thing about them.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I think
there's a lot.
The most offensive to the taste of anyone who is an avid fan of films has to be the terrible performance by Miss Alicia Silverstone.
Kind of.
Oh dear sweet baby
I didn't even
Jesus,
like Clooney in this.
Oh well, no, I didn't like Clooney. Clooney is the worst Batman. That's
yeah.
There's no fight.
Yeah.
Anymore.
We'll get into it. We'll say hello to people in the chat who are very quiet, but it's okay. We love all the lurkers slithering in after the Salty Nerd show. But we will say hello to Kalekioki. How are you, sir? Hopefully you enjoy the show, because we didn't enjoy the movie, and we're going to give you all there is about this movie and why it was so crucial in making other movies look better.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to start the show where we start every show with a little segment we like to call Behind the Screens.
Sound production, take 2.
That is the most inoffensive picture I had. The other ones were like, nah, I'm not including that. Anyway, Behind the Screens is where we turn to me, even though we both kind of have notes, but I will do
some stuff, yeah.
I will do the heavy lifting today. It's all good. It's all good. Turn to me and we get the lowdown on everything that is behind the scenes, behind the screens, behind the shots, production-wise, everything. And hello, Kaladin. Welcome and good evening. Back in 1995, there was a little film called Batman Forever, starring Val Kilmer, Chris O'Donnell as Robin, Tommy Lee Jones as Half and Half, and the little crazy...
Two-Face. He is not a coffee creamer.
He's my little Half and Half. and one comedian called Jim Carrey doing the Riddler. The movie was a smash success, yes. And Warner Brothers immediately commissioned Joel Schumacher, who directed Batman Forever, to go ahead and do the next sequel. And not only that, they had a due date that was officially shorter than the other ones. So the first Batman was 89, the second one, 92, the third one, 95. And Warner Brothers wanted to up the pace and not do it every 3 years. They wanted every 2 years. So the release date was June 97, or they wanted June 97. I didn't even check if it was actually on time, but it is what it is. You know, this is a movie podcast.
I do believe it was, because I do believe I was 13 when I saw it in the theaters. I went and saw this with my friend because we loved Batman Forever because we were fans of Jim Carrey from In Living Color. Like, how could you not be in the 90s when you were a kid?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Regretted that decision.
Yeah. I did not like Batman Forever either, but it wasn't offensive, or at least the thing about Batman Forever, to me, it wasn't the Tim Burton, nor was it a reflection of the Batman the Animated Series, which was a reflection of the Tim Burton version.
Yes.
To me, it felt like a very easy transition between 89, 92, and then the animated series.
Well, yeah,
which,
because Kane had a lot of effect on, especially the transition into the animated series, and Kane was one of the original writers of Batman. So yeah,
him and Paul Dini, which
yeah.
wrote most of the episodes. But
Yeah.
we'll put that aside because they'll show
Which,
up
by the way,
in a minute.
If you haven't seen Batman the animated series, please go watch it. It's so good. It's still so fucking good.
It's
And Kevin
probably-
Conroy is the best Batman. Fight me.
It's probably the definitive version of modern, we'll call it modern Batman, I think. Sort of like it's a distilled best version of it. But we'll put that aside again. So
that's arguable, because most people that now, they recently grew up with mostly the Nolan Batman, or
I guess,
or any kind of adaptations of like the Batman Beyond in the late 90s, early 2000s era, which is not Bruce Wayne at all, but that's
again.
Please go ahead. I'm gonna get on. You know how I know way too much about this stuff, so please go ahead.
I know. We're gonna stick to the movies here. So the man who was hired to write this screenplay was Akiva Goldsman. Now, if you know Akiva Goldsman from Star Trek, you know what's the quality of writing here. Although he did not write this alone, he was credited as the writer, but he was kind of writing it with Joel Schumacher. There were a lot of rewrites because of various reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons is they did not know what kind of Mr. Freeze they're going to get in terms of casting. So they wrote him one way, and then when Arnold showed up, they wrote it a different way. Not only that, the studio kept poking his nose into Schumacher's affairs, and Schumacher, instead of saying no, he said, yeah, sure, why not? So a lot of what you see on screen was not designed by people who Schumacher wanted it to be designed by.
Yeah.
It was designed by people who make toys. Now that you know this fact and you go back and watch the movie, you're like, oh.
Yeah,
So,
why
yeah,
the Batmobile is like, he's supposed to be a stealth vigilante. Like, why is there neon lights on fucking everything? But
why
toys.
there's huge wings on the sides of it and on the front, on the back of it? Why is Robin riding a snowblower while Batgirl is riding a regular looking bike? It's all weird.
So like a snowmobile, yeah. Well, at least there was some kind of continuity with the comic books there. I'll just interject because Batman. Batman had actually given initially on the initial run for Dick Grayson, who is this version of Robin that Chris O'Donnell's playing, did actually mostly ride bikes, and then when he became Nightwing, that was his primary mode of transportation. I mean Barbara later, and how the fact like, oh yeah, that's not no, she's not related to Alfred, no.
We'll get to that. The thing of I don't mean the bike. There is a moment at the very end where he's riding a
snowmobile,
essentially a snowmobile.
Yeah,
that all of it. The car that was designed by for Mr. Freeze. All of it is
the
toy
one
makers.
with the spikes on the front and the
all of it is toy makers.
Yeah.
All of it is toy makers.
That makes sense.
All right. So the entire script essentially was based on Batman the Animated Series. That's why I kind of brought it up in the first place.
Yep.
Because it is relying on one specific episode called Heart of Ice,
one of the best episodes of the entire series too. Yeah, but yeah.
Written by one Paul Dini. And I have to say that one of the episodes that I personally remember growing up is that episode.
It's just a fantastic show, regardless of it being an animated series. But yeah.
But if you take the show on the whole, there's 5 seasons? So there's about 100 episodes.
5 seasons, and then it becomes Batman and the Adventures of Batman and Robin, which is I think is
I'm
Some are
talking about the
end-
original series. I think there's about 5 seasons, like I said, 5 or 6 that I remember. So it's around right about 100 episodes, maybe 80.
No,
Okay.
I think there were 120 of the initial run.
Okay.
But yeah, but anyway.
I remember very few. Like the first Harley Quinn one, the Heart of Ice one, the one where no, I forgot the name. When Two-Face becomes Two-Face, there's a big. I think that's a 2-parter.
Harvey Dent, yeah.
Harvey Dent. Yeah. Sorry, I'm.
Well, that the initial episode of Vertigo was in it, but it's the initial reveal of Talia al Ghul because Talia saves Batman.
That I don't remember.
Yeah, and she's the first one to see Bruce without the mask on in the show. Yeah.
Okay. So Heart of Ice is an episode that I actually do remember. I didn't know the name of it. I just knew it was the episode with Mr. Freeze, which when I came to see Batman and Robin, I knew who Mr. Freeze is supposed to be. And I was sorely disappointed. Yeah.
The only kind of reference to the episode, too, outside of the fact of him trying to save Nora, which is the overarching narrative of Heart of Ice, is the direct reference is when he's actually in Arkham and he's holding the statuette of the ballerina in the globe. It's like, oh, that's a direct 1-for-1 shot from the episode.
Yep. That's the thing I remembered as well. And I think a lot of people did. Plus, it was pretty fresh. Like, animated series came out, 93?
Yeah, this aired in late 93 or early 94. So it's only like 2 or 3 years old when the film was released. So it was still kind of fresh in people's mind. And the show was still running, too.
Yeah. So once everything got into motion, Chris O'Donnell immediately said, "Yes, I will reprise my role." Plus, if you remember, he didn't have a lot going at the time, so he did not have a lot going at the time. So why not? A few million in the pocket. However, Val Kilmer was a different kind of story.
Oh God!
Now
so sad.
this is one of those moments where it really depends who you ask. Now, if you ask Joel Schumacher, it was sort of like, I didn't really want to work with him, so he kind of quit, and we fired him at the same time. Which, oh, wait, hold on. It's getting hot in here, so I don't want to take off all my clothes. So I'll turn on the AC. So,
all right, Nelly, calm down.
So Joel Schumacher said that from what he knew, Kilmer was off doing Island of Dr. Moreau.
Because he wanted to work with Marlon Brando. And wow, did he regret that decision, as we discussed previously.
And when you ask Kilmer, that's a different thing. First of all, he said, I didn't even know we're starting production on Batman. He didn't know they're pushing it forward and making it a 2-year time slot instead of 3. So he was aware that they're going ahead with a sequel. That's what I'm getting from Kilmer. And
so
also,
essentially, they just kind of snuck it under the radar because I'm like, well, Joel Schumacher's was essentially, I just don't want to work with this guy anymore.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Kilmer is notoriously difficult to work with, so you really can't blame him.
And Kilmer said, well, I already committed to both Heat and The Saint. He did not mention the Island of Dr. Moreau. Which, we kind of talked about this, but yeah. All right. So before settling in on Clooney, David Duchovny was in the running, which is an odd choice, but an even odder choice. An even odder choice was William Baldwin, the good-looking guy from the Baldwins.
Yes.
It's not Alec. It's not Daniel, who was the fat, crazy one. It's not the blonde one. I don't remember his name. Who was also crazy.
Steven, right?
Steven, Steven Baldwin. It's William Baldwin. Now, if you remember, at the time, William Baldwin did a movie with not Claudia Schiffer, not Elle Macpherson, the other chick from the big what's her name? She's an American. What's her chat? Please help me. Good-looking woman, tall woman, has a mark here, sort of like Madonna, but not really.
Yeah. I can't remember her name.
I forgot her name. One
She's
of the
brunette,
big four,
right?
not Naomi Campbell, the other one. So he did a movie with her. That was a big bomb.
Yeah.
Like big. He was bad acting. She did not know how to act, and she did not have any film career after that too. But that was just around Cindy Crawford. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Cindy Crawford. Man, I'm bad with names. Anyway, so after he kind of got lost in the wayside, they went to Clooney. Now, again, with Clooney, it really depends who you ask. If you ask the studio, they would tell you Clooney was the hottest actor from ER. That's why we brought him in. It's the star power thing. Plus, he was already trying to do the transition into movies because he did From Dusk Till Dawn. This is where Joel Schumacher said, I've noticed him there and I wanted to bring him here. So it really depends who you ask.
And also, he's been on sets where shit went completely tits up. So yeah, bring him on.
Yeah, bring him on. So nobody remembers like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, right? Nobody remembers.
Nobody. No.
Nobody. Hello, SWA. Welcome, and glad you didn't miss it. We're just getting started. Yeah. We're just getting started. All right. So, do you have anything you said something about Nicolas Cage. And I said, by the way, I said, what now?
There's a fun little aside. There was back during that time where Nicolas Cage was starting to gain a lot more prominence, and he expressed interest, especially anything that was around any kind of comic book character. When we talk about some Superman stuff later, we've talked about it before, but we'll talk about it more at length, especially you're going to have to find the screenshot of the Superman suit, Nicolas Cage's one, because it is so bad.
Next month, I think we kind of ditched the Superman idea, but
we did.
Yeah,
we'll have to show it one of these, because don't worry about it. There's a reason why that movie never got made. Instead, Wild Wild West was made, which is arguably probably was a worse film. Anyway, so Nicolas Cage had gone to Warner Brothers and said, I want any kind of role that will put me in a comic book role. I would love to play two characters,
Superman or
Kal-El or Bruce Wayne. Yeah. Those are the two that I would like to play from the DC universe. They said, well, we're interested in you. We'll get back to you on that. Joel Schumacher apparently had a casting call with him, could not stand him.
I'm not surprised.
Said, and I quote, "This man just chews scenery." It's well, that's Nick Cage. So
he chews so much scenery. We had a whole month full of movies
him.
With Nicolas Cage.
Wow. Yeah. I'm surprised the world has grass left.
Exactly. Now, when it came to casting Mr. Freeze, like I said, there were a lot of rewrites because they were going for one Mr. Freeze, and then because of Arnold, they went with a different kind of Mr. Freeze. But initially, Ed Harris, Anthony Hopkins, and again, depending who you ask, Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, because didn't Schumacher outright just deny the fact that Stewart was ever in contention?
He flat out denied Stewart was even in the running.
Now, I could see Ed Harris. Ed Harris would make sense because the suit for Victor Freeze is supposed to be the thing that bulks him up. He's not supposed to be jacked.
The thing about the suit, and this is something, again, I can't confirm because I saw it somewhere where I don't believe what they said. The suit wasn't even supposed to be that suit when it was at the beginning stages. It was only becoming that suit after Arnold came in.
Well, that also didn't at one point in time there. I know this is one thing that's infamous about this was that Arnold had to spend so many hours in the makeup chair, and at one point in time with the lights that had to glow on his mouth, at one point in time leaked battery acid in his mouth.
Correct. That was one of my notes, but I was like, yeah, do I say that? Well, we'll leave it. Probably feelings.
I have to give Arnold credit then.
Yep.
Even though he was actually better in his first film ever, Hercules in New York, than he was in this film.
Probably. So
I love
the
Patsy.
suit.
Pretzi.
The suit was made by one armorer called Terry English. From conception to construction to workable suit cost $1.5 million. Now, Terry English only did the suit. Do you know who did the gun? Mattel.
Wow.
Or a toy company, unnamed.
Probably Mattel or Hasbro, one of the
Mattel,
two.
One of the whoever came. I don't know which one of them came up with the toys. I didn't even check. When it says toy companies, it's either Hasbro or Mattel. One of the two.
That was 90s money, Paul. Yeah.
1.5 million. The budget was, again, depending who you ask, close to 125 million. It says 125 to 160,
which is insane for 1996 when this was in pre-production. That's so much money. Well, it ended up making its money back, even though this movie was awful. But
we'll get to that. So Arnold, you said, had to sit in a chair for about 6 hours. He refused to shave his head, so he had to wear a ball cap. That means extra work in terms of makeup.
Oh God.
Yes.
If I was one of those makeup artists, I would have fucked up his hair on purpose. So like, oh, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to shave your head, Mr. Schwarzenegger.
You would probably not do that in order to get paid. So the thing about the 6 hours in the chair, it wasn't the 6 hours in the chair. It's the fact that in Arnold's contract, he cannot work more than 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
So everything was supposed to be ready by the time he finished the makeup. So they used a ton of stand-ins, a ton of them.
Yeah.
So much so that Chris O'Donnell said, we hanged out with Arnold a lot backstage and even off-set. I did not have one scene with him. I went back to look after I saw that. I saw that at 6 p.m. today. I saw that sort of remark. I went back and went through most of the scenes where they're in the shot together. Chris O'Donnell and Arnold Schwarzenegger are not in the same place at the same time in the same frame.
Yep.
Unreal. And 12-hour days, $25 million salary. So you know where all the budget went in? There.
That is utterly insane.
Yep. So before Uma Thurman, because we have to talk about Poison Ivy, they tapped Demi Moore, Sharon Stone, and Julia Roberts. None of them wanted to do this.
No, I could see Demi Moore would have been fine in the role.
Probably. I think Sharon
Stone as well
would have been
a femme fatale character. Yeah, she would have been fine. Especially she's already kind of campy and overacting to begin with anyway. I mean,
yeah, but
see Casino.
I think doing the femme fatale again, I don't think she wanted to do it. But yeah. The thing about it is Schumacher saw Uma Thurman in, like, he wanted to cast her because of her role in, like, obscure movie called Adventures of Baron Munchausen. I'm bringing that up only for one reason. It was on TV 2 days ago, and I watched it.
And it's not a good movie.
Not a good movie. But when I saw it when I was a kid, I loved it. I loved it. Dennis Rodman?
No, I know. See, I saw the scene in Pulp Fiction where she gets stabbed in the heart with an adrenaline needle, and I was like, yeah, I gotta cast her.
I don't know. I don't know where Joel Schumacher is with his head, but he went all the way back to Baron Munchausen. That's what, 88, 87?
Yeah. No.
And it's a Terry Gilliam movie, so you know it's bound to be fucked up.
Yep. Kaliki Yoki, no, you're wrong there. She's like, it's poison ivy, not horsey ivy.
You bad motherfucker, you. And the thing about Batgirl, the only person who was ever considered for the role, according to Schumacher and the studio, was Alicia Silverstone. Because you know why? Clueless.
Yeah.
That's why. That's it. They saw her in Clueless. They were like, that's perfect for our Batgirl. Why don't we just fuck up her entire origin story?
Yeah. And make her a completely different character. Completely different in every way. And also, Alicia Silverstone is actually a good, like, she's actually does very well in Clueless.
Yes, because
she's actually a good actress.
To her strengths.
This stilted. I mean, you could not get more wooden if she was a marionette. It's so bad.
I know.
Oh, and there's one line later that I'm going to say out loud that pissed me off so bad every single time. I was like, well, no fucking shit.
All right. And before I go on, because this movie is fucking terrible, so I'm doing my best to talk around the movie rather than actual movie.
Yeah.
There are two cameos that were really interesting. One of them was Coolio as the banker.
We talk about this. Yeah.
As the banker slash, the guy who runs the racers, the illegal races. And one chick that was, what's her name? The girl who was in Erasure with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Vivica A. Fox, who is...
it was Vivica A. Fox? Really?
His assistant is Vivica A. Fox, yeah.
Oh, then I went completely wrong. I thought it was the other chick from Eraser.
Nope, no, it's Vivica A. Fox. Yep.
Okay. She was so inconsequential. I thought it was
I was wondering why she was even in the movie, because I'm like, she still had some roles at that time where I'm like,
I don't know.
Why are you, baby girl, why are you in this movie? Yeah, thinking of
Vanessa Williams. I thought it was Vanessa Williams. Again, I was so pissed, I didn't even check. I thought it was just her, and I thought, well, I know she's not in it a lot. She literally has one line.
One scene.
And it made no sense for her to even be there, because later on, when he talks to Poison Ivy...
And her line, one of her lines is a fucking pun. Oh, I hate this fucking movie.
I mean...
Talk about a cold shoulder.
So... Principal photography started August 96. Well, it was supposed to start in 96, but they had a delay. Guess what happens? Rewrites. So they started a month later, yet they finished 2 weeks ahead of time because nobody gave a fuck about this movie.
Fuck it, rap.
Yeah, exactly. While this was going on, Clooney was still working on ER, so he had about 16 to 17-hour days every day for a while.
Well, it's not as bad as some actors that we talked about were like, yeah, they had about maybe 2 or 3 hours in between their one movie and then the other movie.
Dude, he was on the Michael J. Fox schedule at some point.
Yeah.
Doing TV in the morning or at night and then doing... movie.
Michael J. Fox was like, I don't remember Back to the Future at all.
Exactly.
I don't.
So a few fun things is Alicia Silverstone didn't know how to ride a bike, so the stunt coordinator had to teach her how to ride a bike for, in total, when you see her on a bike actually riding...
2 scenes?
About 8 seconds. 3 scenes. 3 scenes.
Okay,
So remember I said about the blaster? So the Mr. Freeze blaster, they said the date was fall, so it could have been October, November-ish. It was stolen off set because they had a lot of security issues on set in Burbank on the WB lot.
Wow.
Because that blaster was essentially stolen for a few days and ended up in a film memorabilia collector's home where he essentially got arrested.
Well, I say you mentioned Coolio. One funny note about Coolio was the fact that there was going to be a third film.
A fifth film, you mean?
Well, this was supposed to be a trilogy of Forever, Batman and
okay.
Robin, and the last one was Batman Unchained was going to be a third one, which is like, Django? No. Yeah.
Okay.
No. Coolio was supposed to become the Scarecrow? Like,
how?
No?
In what capacity? Oh, never mind. This movie's so fucking fucked
yeah,
up.
It's...
and the thing about like low security is the fact that a lot of paparazzi managed to sneak in, and they one of them got a glimpse of like a shot of Mr. Arnold in a Mr. Freeze costume, and they got paid $10,000 for the pictures. Right. So the movie came out. It came out guns blazing. I think around 42 or 46 million for the first weekend, which was a record back then. And it held up for a while. It held up for a long, long while, actually, until 2003, where Arnold, I think, dethroned it with some movie. I don't remember. But essentially, the movie was, again, between 125 and 160, probably 160. But even at 125, the movie made just about 230 million-ish, close to 300 million. And it was considered a flop. It wasn't a flop, but it was considered disappointing.
Well,
because
compared to the success of Forever and all the other Batman films before.
Exactly. It did less profit than Batman Forever. Not only in ticket prices, but also in what they were trying to go for, which was toys. Those toys did not sell well at all.
Because the movie was dog shit.
Because the movie was dog shit. The movie was dog shit. And there you have it. There's a lot more. There's a lot more like insider stories and that sort of thing. But I thought this time around, we'll leave it be. We'll just leave it be. Let's just say this. Clooney wasn't happy. Alicia Silverstone wasn't happy. The guy playing Alfred wasn't happy. Arnold was fucking pissed. Uma Thurman was like, I'm getting paid. I don't care. And Chris O'Donnell was like, I'm getting millions on this. Fuck yeah.
He's like, I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit. He did not give any fuck about this
what
movie.
Would be like, so, well, Michael Gough, I think this is one of his final performances as well. But Uma Thurman, this is what, like 2 years or 3 years before Gattaca?
Yeah, kind of. But she was she already did Pulp Fiction, so everybody knew who Uma Thurman is. So it wasn't.
But she wasn't really getting that many big roles, though. That was a
big highlight. And then she got Gattaca.
Yeah.
I think, right? When was Gattaca? 2000?
I thought it was 98.
Gattaca 97. So
97.
right around the same time.
Yeah, it was right after it then.
Yeah, October of 97. She was pulling double duty, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. When we cover Gattaca, we'll get to that.
Gattaca is still a good movie. I still like that movie a lot.
All right. Cool. Right. Let's do a breather. It's already 40 minutes into the show.
Before we go, we dive headfirst into hell. Let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun. Which means you guys are going to have some fun because we're going to play our first game of the night. It is called Missing Marquee. Missing Marquee, for the uninitiated, is where we take 10 posters of movies, have their text written off, we display them, and you guys out there in the chat will have to guess which movie this is. I'm going to bring up the chat on this side. Hello, hello, hello. Let's go. RDJ in this movie. We
Yep.
kind of talked about this last week, I think. No, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Yep.
Kind of mentioned it. It is not Con Air.
That's not Nicolas Cage.
That's not Nicolas Cage. It's more of a Mel Gibson thing.
So, do you think he would have called the FAA sugar tits?
Probably. It's not Tropic Thunder. It is Air America. From what I know, I don't think he was in Tropic Thunder, was he?
No.
I like this movie. It's a ripoff, but I do like this movie. Cillian Murphy's in this movie, by the way. Doing a very non-Cillian Murphy kind of role. It is not Ultraviolet. It is Anna. Correct. I unequivocally love this movie. People hate this movie.
Oh, well, they're wrong because this movie's fun.
It's
a bad movie, but it's fun.
It's sort of like it's Mel Gibson, Hudson Hawk. It's Bird on a Wire, correct.
Yeah. I'm sorry. No, this movie is 10,000 times better than Hudson Hawk.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
We will fight on this all day long.
Of course. What are friends for?
You just got knocked the fuck out.
You got knocked the fuck out. Yeah. Tuck the chain. Tuck the chain. It is not. Yeah.
So what's funny is this movie came out the same time as another movie starring Ashton Kutcher that had the same exact plot.
With Anne Hathaway, right? Was it Anne Hathaway?
I don't.
Yeah, it had the same.
But it was the exact
movie.
Plot. Yeah.
It is, of course.
Friends.
Wait, no. Friends with Benefits. Correct. I still haven't watched this movie.
This movie has still made me fall asleep more times than any film I've ever tried to watch. Ever.
That is why I have yet to watch this movie. Because you said it was extremely boring. That's why it probably won an Oscar. Run Overboard? No, it's not. It is Life of Pi. Where is it? Yeah, Life of Pi. I love this movie. Probably the best.
See, Lester, if that was Captain Ron, no, I would never fall asleep during Captain Ron. That's a sin. That movie's awesome.
You're so lagging? Why you're lagging? Is it me? I don't think it is me. It could be StreamYards. You know, everybody's starting to leave StreamYards lately. But it is what it is. Nobody knows this movie. This is a fantastic movie, by the way. One of the best romantic comedies ever made. Unequivocally. It is, of course, Notting Hill. Correct. One of the best. And it's Hugh Grant playing Hugh Grant in a Hugh Grant movie. But this time around, it actually fits within the story.
And now this is the original.
This is the original one. The original one.
If
you need 52? 52, 54
or 53. Then the remake starred Mr. Keanu Reeves, which bad.
Yep. The Day the Earth Stood Still. Man, the old school effects in this are just a delight. That's why it was missing from the new version.
There was no fun in the new version.
No. It was too sort of like serious. Sort of like War of the Worlds was too serious.
Yeah.
I mean, the new one.
Yeah.
I will punch it in a little bit.
You know, it's 007, so...
of course, but which one? In Living Daylights is correct. Correctamundo. And we will do... Oh, yeah, one more.
Oh, we still have to talk about... Oh, I love this movie.
I know. We still have to talk about it. We'll find a way We always find
you
a
like
way.
the old boy scene. This movie is just the old boy scene.
I know.
The entire film. And
it is, of course, The Raid.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Let us do this as I casually bring up the movie. All right. Cool. So, Batman and Robin, you say? Oh, shit. It started and yelling in my ear. Ow. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
So you have to love just to start off, the obvious setup with the suit up scene.
Oh, I've gone way past the suit up scene. Yeah.
No, just going through that, just to start with the Batmobile, where it's just like, how that is the most blatantly obvious Batmobile ever. Even Batman 66 was more conspicuous than this.
Now,
and of course, bat nipples. And
yes.
people say like, was the introduction of bat nipples. No, they had them before.
No, it wasn't. However, in some cases, and this is pretty weird, they actually did use the Val Kilmer suit.
Okay.
For Clooney. Why? They had issues with the suits. Because you know what stand-ins mean? Yeah, there were a lot of them. A lot. Because Clooney was still doing ER. Arnold was still sitting in the makeup chair, and Chris O'Donnell was just happy to just be there and getting paid.
Hey, man, I'm just happy to be here.
Oh, my God. It is so hilarious.
It's funny, is Chris O'Donnell never would reply with the line that Dante had from Clerks. No, he was supposed to be there today. Even if he wasn't asked, he was going to be there.
Now, the thing about this, whenever it comes to like when it's obviously done on the back lot, if you go back to like Batman 89 or 92, it was mostly shot on like studio lots. Like in this case, they had a few scenes like in Ottawa, and I think the Wayne Manor is it's called Greystone Manor, and they shot a few things in Vienna and all over the place. But it's like so super short. Most of the stuff is like done in studio on the Burbank lot,
on the lot,
in Warner Brothers, and for most of these scenes, it looks like it was done on a lot. Okay. And that's what drove me crazy. So in the first two Batmans, you can tell it's a lot, but
it feels like Gotham City. It feels like an actual lived and breathed, like people live there. Not this. This is just set deck. And okay, I told you before, I wrote down all the puns that I thought were puns. Do you want me to start here?
Go ahead. Pepper them in, I guess.
So for this one is obviously the Iceman cometh.
Yeah.
Mercy. Your condition has left me cold. Also, one thing is true about the world: everything freezes. No, it's everything dies, because not everything
dies.
Duh.
Do you know what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
No, that's a little bit after this.
Yeah, I know.
But so we have, again, just the most 90s of 90s shit, where Batman and Robin do what? How do they show up in the most extreme bit? By sliding down the tail of a dinosaur.
There were so many of these scenes where it was sort of like, are you just hopping on the X Games, or it used to be called Extreme Games before it was shortened to X Games. And there were a lot of these scenes, like later on, I know you're into the puns stuff, but this scene where they ride the doors of the fucking rocket.
Yes, like fucking surfboards. And oh my God, Robin says cowabunga. Fuck this movie.
Why did Chris O'Donnell said cowabunga? Why?
I don't know. Also, Mr. Freeze uses some plastic wings to fly. What? And also, Batman is always running around with a bomb on him because he implants a bomb that's able to blow up a rocket.
Now, the thing about this is you're kind of set up to believe that Mr. Freeze is sort of not a new threat. But on the first scene,
Commissioner Gordon's like, there's a new threat in town. His name is Mr. Freeze. How the fuck do you know his name then? If he's a threat, that is like a verified threat is not new. He's an established threat.
And why do you have like guns who warm things? Like he warmed the water to unfreeze Robin.
Well, that also too. Well, there's some other ones there in that scene. Puns. Stay cool, bird boy. Can you be cold, Batman, and leave your friend to die?
Unreal.
And that I'll kill you next time. Fuck this movie.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear me say this a lot. This movie's so bad.
I want to get to a point. To be fair, that's very fair. The only sort of effect that I like is when he freezes people, not the gun itself and the beam. I thought it was hokey and stupid. When people freeze over, that looks cool to me. I liked it. The 11 minutes part,
a little too much.
They stretched it a little bit
too
far.
Oh, Griffin, I understand. That's why I'm saying it was the most self-referential 90s film where he said cowabunga. I mean, obviously it was a reference to Ninja Turtles because it was popular back then.
Yes.
But
and the thing about it, and this is something I mentioned when I did my Tank Girl actual review, you have to remember the decade started with Batman. Batman kind of brought the comic book thing to like sort of prominence. But then you had sort of like the studios taking and like we said, Batman Forever did pretty good at the box office. 1995 not only had Batman Forever, but also Tank Girl and Judge Dredd. And
also
Spawn was 97.
Spawn. There was also
and I don't remember the rest, but
the Shadow. The Shadow was
awful.
That was Alec Baldwin, right?
Alec Baldwin, correct.
Yeah.
And before that, you had Billy Zane. That's a little bit earlier. Billy Zane as
the Phantom.
The Phantom.
Yeah. Well, and also to be fair, The Mask was a comic book movie technically. But you would never know it. You would never actually know that.
Yeah, but the thing about the mask relied on the man with 1,000 faces, which is Jim Carrey.
Yes.
And the Mask, when he became the Mask, he was the stand-up routine that Jim Carrey had on stage, where he was Clint Eastwood, where he was this wacky dude, which later on kind of he produced again as in Living Colors. But in that point in the mid-90s, there was a lot of push to do these comic book adaptations or IPs, and they bought them for cheap. Tank Girl and Judge Dredd did not pay a lot in terms of getting the rights. So it was getting it to cheap. The thing about Batman in this iteration of Batman, they just went so camp, it passed beyond Batman 66, right? It just went beyond Batman 66. And the Adam West version was considered the most camp. So they out-camped the camp. How?
Yeah, that was... It's bad.
And the thing about this, John Glover, who was the mad scientist in this thing, he said that when Joel Schumacher was on his perch on the crane where the camera was on, he said action, and remember, this is a cartoon, which even Glover was like, man, that's not really what we're supposed to do here. We can't go cartoony with this. And Glover is a serious actor. We've covered him in several different movies. We did Gremlins 2, and we did, I think, what was he in that we talked about? Essentially, in Gremlins 2, where he essentially played the old version of Trump, he played it quite seriously. Yeah. And this is sort of like, he was in Scrooged as well. When we talked about that, the point in this is he was even confused on how to do his acting, because he wanted to do a mad scientist, but he was supposed to be so over the top, he felt uncomfortable. And you don't want your actors to feel uncomfortable when you're trying to do a fun, campy comic book movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but Paul, to be fair, Dick Tracy was overdone for the sake of actually fitting the theme for it. It actually made sense. The Rocketeer was so unknown, and actually the Rocketeer isn't a bad movie. It's fine.
I don't know. I didn't like it at the time. I watched it in the theater, and I wasn't really impressed. So
we got that. We have
like, no, but that's like after the success of Batman. 1990 was like Rocketeer, I think, right? 1991 maybe. And Dick Tracy was 1990 or 1991 or 2.
Yeah.
So it's sandwiched between the two Batmans, and essentially, I think maybe even the Phantom was earlier. So right around that time.
I think the Phantom was 94 or 90.
Was fucking bad.
No. The Phantom was 94 or 95. I know it was really like the early mid 90s. But
no, go ahead.
Anyway,
96.
No.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So that
like
early
mid 90s, it had to be right there.
Yeah, that mid 90s was pretty awful time for a comic book movie, even though you had the Batman animated series that essentially a lot of people who were into the comic book movies were really into that series. I know I was. I know you were.
It's still like one of the best adaptations of Batman ever.
And when they're going over this story of how Mr. Freeze came to be, I'm not sure it's one for what had happened in the animated series. Remember, this is all leading on that episode.
Yeah, it isn't an exact interpretation or exact adaptation from the exact episode. It's more of kind of a loose interpretation of it more than anything else. And I don't like the way they did the character of Victor Freeze, because it makes no sense. Because Mr. Freeze is supposed to be a tragic character. His entire narrative is supposed to be inherently tragic, especially given that initial episode. In this, he just seems like, I know, he's still trying to save his wife. That's the overall arcing bit is of him trying to get money in order to get stuff to save his wife. But the thing is, in the show, he's not overtly trying to hurt people in order to get to that money. Like in the film, it's made clearly obvious that if you're not unfrozen within 10 minutes,
11 minutes,
you'll die. You will just you're dead.
Yes,
that's not no. You're supposed to like cryogenically frozen. You're just put in kind of like a stasis.
Yeah, they kind of played fast and loose with how the ice thing works. It was essentially a sort of they had to convey some sort of a ticking time bomb of sorts. So they set this up early with Robin. It's like, if you don't unfreeze him in 11 minutes, he's gonna die.
Yeah,
which sets up the entire third act, where it essentially freeze entire Gotham, and you have to unfreeze Gotham within those 11 minutes, which are about 20 minutes in terms of if you look at the scene.
Actual
but
time, yeah.
We'll put that aside. It doesn't really matter.
No, Kaliki, you're right there, where he actually wasn't a tragic character initially, but they actually formed him off of the basis of that episode to make him that tragic character. So him actually making it so like he is murdering people. He's killing people.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, in the animated series, he was working essentially alone. He didn't have a gang of people. But in this one, he had a gang of people, which kind of reminds you of the Penguin or even the Joker, right?
I would say we're really more the Penguin to really as a start, especially for the animated series. But yeah, it's hit or miss.
And it's so strange because he was in the animated series working. I think he was working alone. I have to rewatch the episode, but I think it was working alone. And again, when they set up Batgirl, Alicia Silverstone comes in, and she's sort of like supposed to be prim and proper from England, yet she does not have a shred of an English accent. They kind of set this up where her father is American and her mother is British because she's related to Alfred, and Alfred is very British. Like he is the quintessential British butler. Come from a long line of British butlers. So
do you want me to just go on through my comic nerd kind of rant right now real quick? Just like
go
5
ahead.
seconds.
Go ahead.
So
wait a minute. You're gonna have the floor. Okay. Go ahead.
What the fuck were they thinking? Barbara Wilson? The character is Barbara Gordon. She's already inherently intrinsic to the entire Batman universe, regardless of what version you watch. She's somewhere in there. She has one of the best narratives and best storylines ever. The Killing Joke. Her tragically getting shot is one of the key pieces of that entire narrative. Her being Batgirl, like Barbara Gordon is Batgirl. And she becomes Oracle later. I know that, but it's more about like why did they have to change a character that was already set up to be there? Why couldn't it just be like well, Alicia Silverstone's character as Barbara gets really inquisitive, trying to find some information in Commissioner Gordon's desk. Like, well, how does he make all this money? Well, I'm gonna investigate the Wayne Manor. Finds the Batcave somehow.
Okay, so Commissioner Gordon is the same Commissioner Gordon from all 4 of the movies.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
In terms of Hollywood logic, they probably, I don't know what they thought, but they probably thought, this man cannot create this beautiful woman.
This man has never had sex.
Yes.
Ever.
I don't know what they were thinking. I'm just, it's a stupid remark.
Yes, Paul. In one of the later episodes, he did have polar bears.
You know why they made her his niece? In order for her to actually break through to the diary that kind of reveals everything.
Yeah, which
That's
also.
Why.
What I find funny is the fact that he's supposed to send this to his brother. How the fuck is the brother supposed to know that password?
I don't know.
Get to that. And also, too,
I don't know. It's
supposed to be this majorly encrypted thing. Like, don't we have a certain thing where it just kind of locks people out in modern technology after a certain amount of incorrect passwords? You're just locked the fuck out?
I guess.
If she's supposed to be a computer genius as well, why would she need a password if she can just figure it?
Yeah, she could just hack it instead of going through like, oh, it's the picture. Oh, it's this. Oh, he's probably going to say Wayne because there's a point at the start where she is so annoyed with the fact that Bruce Wayne is taking advantage of his butler. He's like a slave.
He lives in a life of servitude.
Yeah. Why bring it up?
Also, this is willing employment. He can quit.
maybe he explains why he didn't quit because he saw Bruce as his family,
as his son. Yeah,
as his son. That is like the most profound relationship you can have. It's not my employer's son. He is my son.
Yeah.
So it explains Alfred explains it better than what fucking Barbara thought, but it is what it is. The pheromone thing.
We got to go a little bit fast, but real quick.
we got to go a little bit faster. Yeah,
really fucking up character creation and motivations. Bane, what?
Why? I'm not a comic book guy. I do not know the origin story of Bane. I know it's not that. Now they did get the Bane correctly. Bane kind of looks like Bane from the comic book.
Well, also the Venom, the actual thing that he uses as a kind of a superstar. That is true. That is accurate. Somewhat,
okay.
Which is okay. The bit too with Ivy working with Woodrow, and that's how they got. I don't get it.
Yeah, like I said, the whole mad scientist thing was all paid for by Wayne Industries, but then they kind of knew he was going crazy, so they pulled back. And that is her motivation for it's like, oh, these corporate elites and they're destroying the earth and pollution. That is of the times. Remember, 1997, Greenpeace was big. They were big.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, that is the character motivation overall of Pamela Isley, Poison Ivy, which they did get at least that right. Like, she's trying to protect the earth at all costs. I mean, that's okay. They at least got that right. Kind of, but also him saying like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna freeze and kill people." Like, that's gonna kill all the plant life.
That was my issue with the rewatch. Now, I didn't even think about it back then. I just thought it was dumb. Okay, but when I really think about it, Mr. Freeze and his plans are the absolute opposite to what she's trying to achieve. Now, they try to explain it when they get together. They try to explain the fact that, okay, Mr. Freeze is going to freeze the world, so all the humans are going to die. So now the plants are going to rule. But the problem is, if the planet is frozen, everything dies.
I said, like everything. You know what happens during an ice age, right? It's not just mammalian or reptilian or amphibian or any kind of fauna. Is that just fauna die? All flora die too.
Exactly, which makes no sense for them to act with each other. But
that's like her working with someone who's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to bomb the entire world, and then we're going to let nature take over.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Gotham.
Just a couple of things just in the interim that we missed.
Sure.
We did miss Vivica A. Fox, her one scene with Mr. Freeze, where she did get the one pun, like, talk about your cold shoulder, when she rebuffs him. When he rebuffs her. And we have the bit that drove me fucking nuts when Ivy comes as herself to that the opening at the observatory, where she is just actually in her street clothes.
Yeah,
and trying to confront about
she is
the
Pamela
actual...
Isley, Dr. Pamela Isley.
Yeah. And he flat out says and announces it, Batman and Robin are gonna be at our event.
Yes.
That's the antithesis of Batman and fucking Robin. What the actual fuck?
They're supposed to be stealthy.
They're vigilantes. Yes. Also be like, so if they were there, be like, they would be arrested on site because they've committed crimes.
Yeah. So our good friend SWA.
She has one of her first pun, by the way, which is, and then the world be mine for the greening.
Yeah.
Sort of taking.
Oh,
yes.
Goddamn movie.
Right, I got puns.
So SWA is James Mendoza. So I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So I have to go, everyone. Thanks for having me, dude. Always just watch the replay. That's fine. It's all good.
It's all good, buddy.
There's plenty of crap to go along. But thank you for the lovely donation. Like I said, every single donation, membership, all that good stuff goes straight into the channel in terms of audio, keeping the StreamYards going, and also I've devised a plan for next year. Depending on funds, I've got something nice. I haven't even discussed all my feelings with it. It's an idea.
Okay.
We will see. Okay. But it really depends on money. Not on your money, on my money.
Okay. So we have so just to cut from there, we have that one little bit with Friesen. I just want to bring it up because he makes the most referential thing where it's supposed to make the audience laugh, where he's watching the film of him and Nora's wedding, and he turns and he freezes the guy. I hate when people talk during the movies. And I'm like, oh fuck you, movie. Oh fuck you.
It made me cringe so hard, and it almost made me want to clip it and have it as a side clip. On the media assets, but then I said, well, nah. And I also, after reading about the toys, I wanted to have a clip of Jack Nicholson say, where did they get those wonderful toys? Well, essentially, they get it from Hasbro or Mattel, but
I'm thinking it's probably Mattel. But
also, what disgusted me is that stupid dancing scene for 2 minutes that did nothing but introduce Poison Ivy, and I still didn't like it.
Yeah,
but
and
now
with all the pheromones and everyone's into it, and also come on, the fucking Bat card expiration never,
no,
fuck you,
forever. It said, I thought it was, but expiration date forever.
I'm using the grammatically correct tense because it should be expiration never. Expiration forever means it's always invalid.
Yeah.
So
anyway, I want to speak about something really important to all the Batman franchise, and we brought it up several times during the years that we're doing this. Gotham is essentially another character in the Batman story. It is very essential to capture the city of Gotham. Now, you don't see too much of the city of Gotham, but when you do see it, there's a ton of stupid statues in the middle of it. Why? I cannot get an answer. I couldn't get an answer. Like, I tried to look for like visual effects. Why did they were going for this?
The only thing that I could think of is they were going back to a lot of this is very like retro 1930s, 1940s, 1950s aesthetically, like art, like retro futuristic.
They were going for Metropolis.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm movie
more
Metropolis,
of a very like gothic Metropolis vibe. Because if you think about it, if you look at it, it's very, very, very similar to a lot of shots from films of that era, and especially a lot of posters from that era.
It wasn't the fact that there were statues there. Now, the one thing I'll put aside, the observatory, that is a cool fucking design.
Oh, how the guy holding it up on his hands?
Holding it up, that is cool. It's just like, okay, we're going to go gothy with this. We're going to go Art Deco. Why do too many of them?
Yeah, I don't
One, two, plus the observatory. I get.
And also, the massive amount of just public works that would have to be done in order to make just the observatory work is insane. But also, these just giant statues of who or what?
I was thinking maybe it's like Wayne Enterprises kind of thing because they kind of are the billionaires of that city. But no, it doesn't seem that way.
No, because they've been established for quite a long time.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I don't know. I want to say the other thing at the gala, just fun little bits. First, obviously, he walking in going, chill.
Yeah.
Then when he meets Ivy, I'll turn you into mulch. And when the one thing that got me, because I was thinking of nothing but our intro. Because I was hoping that you'd actually put that in the intro when Schwarzenegger says party multiple times, because he was like, cool party.
Yeah.
And then we have after that when he leaves. Well, the driving over the whole statue bit. It's a cold town. I told you I wrote them down.
That pun kind of reminded me of like old gangster movies.
Oh yeah.
But, it was very hard for me to find. I was grasping at things to actually like about this movie. I was grasping at things to like about this movie because we do the show and we're trying to have some fun. And even when we get bad movies, you always want to have just a little bit of good. Even when we will do The Room, we will find.
Oh, we're gonna have so much fun with The Room. Oh yeah,
we're gonna find some endearing things about The Room. I'm pretty sure about it. Oh, I will. But it was very hard because even the dialogue that wasn't punny and wasn't, trying to be campy, the dialogue was dull, very dull. Like when Robin kind of catches Barbara in the like stealing the motorcycle, there's no drama there. It's like, I caught you. No, you didn't. Maybe I didn't. They leave. Well, it's like, what the fuck, man?
She's like, well, I took it. Well, she flips him over. Well, I took a judo class. And she flat out just tells him, like, yeah, I'm not in school anymore. I flat out just lied to you. And I'm here to try to save my uncle. It's like, what? Okay.
It was just too much. Just too much. Let me just do something. Just a minute there. Here we go.
So okay, this is great because there are several. Also, Jesse Ventura is one of the Arkham guards.
Not only that,
hello, Predator reunion. Hi.
Yes. But also, the other guy was Arnold's stand-in for a lot of movies.
Yep, including Predator. Yep,
including Predator. So this was like, oh, that is something when I watched this like various times in my life, I didn't even think about it. But again, doing this show, doing some research and actually watching this critically, I was like, oh, if there is one smart, interesting thing for movie lovers that they did in this movie was casting these specific two guys to be in that scene with Arnold.
I would say that, and also there's the bike race scene with the gang whole mob. Where we're gonna get to that in a minute because I actually do kind of adore that scene because it's actually super fun. It's self-referential in multiple different ways. But so anyway, so this one had to love it because what it starts with a pun.
Yeah.
Allow me to break the ice. They're like, and what do they say? You're the common cold, and we're the cure.
We're the cure. Why?
And Miss Freeze noted because it is the chilling sound of your doom.
Yes, chilling sound of your doom as he runs away from the room and chokes himself almost to death. Oh my God. Oh, this movie is terrible.
So we have we'll go to Ivy and Bane getting that through all set up and everything. We have the CGI plants, which are fucking awful. Oh well, we can skip over the whole Julie bit, which is completely inconsequential the entire movie. Yeah, he has a girlfriend who flat out just proposes to him,
And
he
he's like,
says,
I'm not the marrying type.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good, bro.
Now, I'm not going to lie. They took this. He is not playing Bruce Wayne in this scene. He's actually playing his doctor role from ER. And they just misconfused, and they casted Elle Macpherson instead of Julia Margolis in this role. It's straight up a scene from ER. I was big in ER back in the day. This is a scene that you saw the same scene in ER when the doctor, whatever his name is, because I don't remember right now. The doctor version of this didn't want to marry the nurse, even though he wanted to fuck her.
That's right, yeah. I was also wasn't only Clooney only like what 2 seasons of ER at the most?
No, it's about 4.
Oh, really? I only watched like 2 seasons of ER.
More than people remember. About 4, I think. But then he's like, "Fuck this! I get paid way more for working way less."
So okay, so well the Ivy thing. So Mr. Freeze is not the only one who fell prey to terrible puns, because there was the whole bit of the water fixture bit, and when she's talking to Bane about Mr. Freeze, she's like, well, he's a real cool customer, even though he has an icy demeanor. Like,
it was puns all around. Everybody had puns. Batman had puns. Robin had puns. I think maybe Batgirl even had a
that actually did, to be fair, actually audibly make me chuckle for the first time. Like, oh, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
coming up.
Okay, cool. Let me just move right ahead.
So we just have they're obsessed with her and everything. Then we have the gathering of the gangs here, which is like, come on, is this not a 1-for-1 fucking reference to the Warriors?
Dude, it was full on the Warriors.
The Warriors.
You know why?
So there is a gang in there that is the gang from the Clockwork Orange. They're wearing the same goddamn outfits.
And you know what's funny? We talked about this last week. You were not here. The fact that Malcolm McDowell was in a movie. Yep. And also, Tank Girl had a scene where she's wearing a bowler hat and one of her eyes had eyelashes. And that was a full homage to that fucking movie. And even, you know what's crazy? Malcolm McDowell, and I said it last week, Malcolm McDowell said he had so much fun on the set
of Tank Girl,
of Tank Girl, just as much fun as he had on Clockwork Orange. And I thought, have you seen Clockwork Orange? You were in it.
You had fun. You had fun?
You had fun?
Wait, is that a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing where it was actually really a terrible experience?
No.
I had so much quote-unquote fun.
He said he had a lot of fun doing Tank Girl, playing the villain. But we'll put that aside. But yeah, there's a full-on like Warriors scenes.
Warriors, and then the gang also like, well, there's one that is basically a ripoff of the Baseball Furies that's right there from the Warriors, and then we have the gang that is just the Moloko gang from Clockwork Orange, and then there's fucking Coolio, where I'm like, what? Coolio?
Yeah.
What? Completely forgot he was in this movie.
If you don't know who it is, it's Coolio. Never mind. Let's just put it aside.
All I'm saying is right now, rest in peace. May he live forever in his gangster's paradise.
Yes, he is a gangster's paradise. So this whole exchange between... I'll have this on. This whole exchange, from start to finish... zero emotions, like zero.
Oh, none.
Now the thing about the whole pheromone thing, and throughout the movie, the fact that Batman doesn't trust Robin, that was the only thing that I could say, well, if you're pushing for a Nightwing story, that is a good, solid basis to have a setup,
because I could see.
Yeah,
I could see like if they did make the third film, Batman Unchained, then that would be the final break where then Chris O'Donnell would make the then he would make a Nightwing movie after that. I could see them, the Warner Brothers, having that idea in their mind, but
now putting that in perspective. Now I know of Nightwing. I didn't know of Nightwing back then, again, because I didn't read any comic books, so I did not have any point of reference. But you could see, if you're like, okay, like I'm trying to figure out where they were going with this, you can see inklings of, okay, there's an escalation helped by the fact that Poison Ivy put some pheromones on them and put some trying to score her love. The fact that it leans on the fact that Batman doesn't trust Robin because he's too young, too eager, too whatever. And Robin is like, you need to let me do my thing because you have to trust me. And that trust could be broken, and then he could split off and actually be Nightwing.
Yeah.
But of course, at the end of the movie,
they reconcile.
So there's no reason to go out and be Nightwing. So you kind of defeated your own setup.
As a side note, God damn you, Sandor, now I have that song stuck in my head.
What?
Oh, you bastard.
You don't know who it is? It's Coolio?
Yeah.
Get wrecked. All right, so we talked about the animated series, and before we do our second game of the night, you mentioned this, which is taken 1-for-1 from the animated series shot.
Which is, oddly, it's the sad exit of the episode where he is now perpetually stuck.
Now I remember it.
Yeah.
It's the very, very end where he's stuck in that cold room in Arkham that they made for him. And I think he also has a conversation with Batman who stands in the corner, if I'm not mistaken. I could be like misremembering.
Yes, it's before this. Yeah.
It's before this. Okay. So he had that conversation with Batman, and then he pulls up the image. But this is, I think in the animated series, she actually did die, right? No, she didn't? Okay. Again, I have to rewatch that entire series.
That, and also like don't go into alternate universes like the Harley Quinn show. Oh my God, it's so bad.
No. It's fine. It's all good. So
we do have that, and just for just because I want to speed run this as fast as possible.
Yeah, we're gonna move past.
So we have the breakout. I just want to say that the most important thing about the breakout is, oddly, the fucking puns or little play on words. Finally, a laundry service that delivers, when they bring him his suit. And when he freezes, always remember to winterize your pipes.
You know what's crazy? I think all laundry services have deliveries now.
They do now, yeah.
But it is what it is.
So right after that, we have just the scene with the story of the escape. And then Bruce and Dick talking about the effects of Ivy's whole bit, where they say the pun that made me laugh out loud was like, yeah, why did there always have to be baddies? This is it says great stems, great buds too.
Yeah, great buds.
That fucking got me. Like,
oh my God, that was so fucking dumb.
Tongue in cheek, it's so dumb that it's like okay.
I was half waiting for Bane to break fucking Robin's back.
Yeah.
Because
they did.
You know or don't know, they're standing on a small little drawbridge there. Kind of like the same in Dark Knight Rises.
But also, but that wasn't the same thing when actually would happen before Nightfall in the comics. So that was, if anything, you know what? Nolan stole it from this movie.
Maybe
the concept, but
maybe I don't know.
But the one that I wanted to say there was, after we have that there, is Ivy says the one that, again, that fourth wall breaking, because every Poison Ivy action figure comes with this, and Bane stands next to her.
Oh shit! No, really?
Yeah. And then Ivy later with Nora. Who needs a frigid wife anyway?
Yeah. And of course, she brings him her necklace as a sort of a proof that she's dead, because she told him she's dead.
And they're feeding into his revenge. And what was his whole bit? The world will start over again. Yes, Adam and evil.
And evil. Are you making an Austin Powers movie or what? Please.
See, if the guys who wrote this were the same guys who wrote Airplane, I would not be surprised, except for there were probably a lot more jokes.
Yeah, the thing about this,
instead of this movie just being one big
Goldsman wrote this. I mean,
I know. The guy won a fucking Oscar. What the fuck?
He won it for like editing, dude, not writing. He didn't win an Oscar for writing, I don't think. Maybe he did. I don't know. All right.
So we'll pause there.
No, we'll pause there. We're not at the third act, but we're leading into the third act.
We can do a speed run of the last 30 minutes of this movie.
It's fucking. It's poison. Getting rid of Poison Ivy, then fucking getting rid of Ice Machine. All right, cool. Let's play our second game of the night. Let me just set this up real quick. Real nice. Bing, bang. You can see it in the background, I believe. There we go. I didn't want to mess with the couple, so we're going to start off pretty obvious, but it is what it is. All right, second game of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Screen Fighter.
Round 1, fight.
And by the way, I see your remarks, ladies and gentlemen. I can see. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Every podcast, or at least I try to remember to every podcast to leave the live chat on. So when we talk, you talk, and people can see your remarks and your comments and everything, all the stuff that we kind of skim over. I can read some, but not all. But trust me, they do help. All right. Screen Fighter is where we take two movies, pit them together, and see which one is the best one. If there's no discernible difference between the two, both of them are good or both of them are bad, we fall into our criteria, which is Friday evening, Saturday evening, out with the boys, out with the girls, out with your significant other. Two movies in a vacuum. Which one will we pop in? This one, it's pretty obvious to me.
Yeah.
We talked about Nicolas Cage, and this is it. Can't Hardly Wait or Lord of War.
If Can't Hardly Wait would have been put in against any other film, could have had a shot. Lord of War.
Yeah, Lord of War. We went over it. It's a
fucking good.
Fucking fantastic movie. All right. Flushed Away or Good Burger?
I have not seen Flushed Away.
All right. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Good Burger? So what are you after? Chocolate or burgers?
I am not after like there will be no other fucking Willy Wonka except for Gene Wilder on this podcast.
I agree. Good Burger, not my favorite.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. May I take your order? I remember it.
Exactly. Frailty or Hostel?
Both really hard watches, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I would say overall, just for the, I guess, ingenuity of it at the time, Hostel.
It's really hard for me to choose between the two because they're both kind of really gory, if I remember. Hostel for sure.
Both really, really dark.
I'm gonna go with Hostel. Because I remember it more, I guess. And again, you've got these two movies, and you're like, okay, I don't know which one is better. Which one will I just pop in on a Friday, on a random Friday? It's like, probably Hostel. Probably. Oh, I'm trying to click on the fucking screen.
Find your mouse.
All right. Now we've got some nice fight. The Untouchables or Lethal Weapon 3? It's Untouchables, Brian De Palma. Think so, right? Brian De Palma.
I think so.
Yeah.
Either way, it's Untouchables. I just
really that quick?
Well, I love mobster gangster stuff from the 30s. Yeah, that's my aesthetic. I love it too much. Also, even though as much as I love Joe Pesci and I love the fact that they had a little ampersand kind of almost in there. It's like, and Joe Pesci. I really don't like Lethal Weapon. Out after number 2, don't care for him.
Okay.
Not a fan.
Okay. I love Untouchables, but if it's these two, I'm going to go with Lethal Weapon 3. So chat participation. Okay. I didn't say it. Chat participation is most welcome. Just, you don't even have to give us a reason. Just tell us which one it is that you want. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with Lethal Weapon 3. I think Lethal Weapon 3 is better than even 2.
Really? Huh.
Mm-hmm. I didn't quite like the pacing in the second one. The pace, just the pace. And I liked Joe Pesci in this one more than I liked him in the second one, I guess.
Yeah.
Paul Harley says Untouchables. He's the only guy who's voting because it's going to be Untouchables, I guess. All right. Hold on. Disturbance in the force. Good night. Hey, look at me. Your eyes bloodshot red. Please stop with the phone. Stop. Go to bed. She's on the phone too much.
That's daughter again.
Yes. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That is the second one of the Chris Pratt trilogy, right?
Yes, which is also the worst of them.
Okay.
That its third one is over Dominion. 2 hours long. Why?
And The Last King of Scotland.
Okay, I'll put it this way. I have a massive fascination with redheads. You know this, Meph.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some Bryce Dallas Howard.
I love me some Bryce Dallas Howard too.
Is the most insufferable piece of garbage until the actual sequel after it, and that one overtook this one. Is so bad. And the new film, saw it.
Okay.
No, just don't waste your time. It's bad.
Okay.
The Last King of Scotland. That movie's so good. Forrest Whitaker, it is the role that he was almost made to play. Like, I swear.
Okay. I think he even got an Oscar for it. Yeah, he did. He did. Sandra Hammerschlag said it. Without watching any of the Jurassic World movies, I'll tell you straight up, none of them can compete with The Last King of Scotland. The Last King of Scotland is not a movie you just pop in.
No.
That's the issue with it. That is the only issue with it. But for me, it's for every Jurassic movie, even the first one. I'm not a Jurassic. I'm not Jurassic. I'm not a dinosaur guy. I'm probably the only not dinosaur guy. So that's not an issue. But the newer ones, I've only heard bad things. Not bad things. Lukewarm to bad. Okay? Even for people who love the franchise. It was like, it's okay. So, yeah. Last King of Scotland.
Should we even...
Hold on. Rest in peace, Michael Madsen. Gone way too soon. But let's face it, the man was kind of a bad alcoholic.
That also apparently was like at one point in time he was smoking 3 packs of cigarettes a day.
The man was not a healthy man, even back in 92.
No.
Let's just face it, okay? At one point, people just didn't not want to cast him except for Tarantino.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Well, it's the reason why he was in the Blood Rain movie with Meatloaf. Yeah,
dude,
that happened.
Saturday Night Fever cannot hold a candle to Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs is just the better movie. Hands down. Movie per movie. anything. As much as Saturday Night Fever is iconic, Reservoir Dogs is a way better movie. I'm sorry. All My Feelings, it's not even a choice, right?
Yeah, no, it's obvious.
All right, last one. Multiplicity or X-Men First Class?
Should I go?
Yeah.
Okay. This is, I think you'll find very, very surprising.
Okay.
While I do think that the James McAvoy kind of era of X-Men was better than the originals in many ways, and this was a good start of it. I love the ever-loving shit out of Multiplicity. That movie is fun as hell.
You don't have to convince me twice. I did not
Michael
like
Keaton in that movie. It's great.
I did not like X-Men First Class. I liked the next iterations of the X-Men. Hard for me to compare the two because I didn't quite like most of them. Like first generation and second generation. There are things that I just don't like about. They just didn't get it right. And that's why I loved Deadpool 3. Deadpool and Wolverine, because it only took 20 years to put him in the suit. Yeah. Yes, it bothered me. Yes.
The only thing that the X-Men First Class got right was one of the villains. Was Sebastian Shaw, played by Kevin Bacon. They got his power set absolutely correct, and how fucking terrifying his actual set could be.
Yeah, I agree. But Multiplicity, it's a fun movie. It's not like bombastic. It's just a fun movie.
Oh no, it's a fun dumb comedy film. Yeah, I highly recommend that. Just again, given the criteria, especially if that's on, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch it. That's fine.
Yeah, and it's all about good fun. You can definitely disagree with us. That is quite all right. That's why we do that game. It's because opinions are like assholes. Everybody's
got one.
Exactly. So we kind of get to the point where we know that Alfred has stage 1 McGregor. We know from where Batman went to and saw Nora. So Mr. Freeze knows how to cure stage 1.
Yeah. Well, and also, the first time I heard there was McGregor, I'm like, wait, so is she going to turn into a tiny Irish asshole that fights people?
He's not that tiny right now. It's pretty bulked up and not with muscles.
No, I mean short though. He's a shorter gentleman.
Well, he is. Most of the 155s are shorter individuals, but yeah. So there's that moment where she goes kind of incognito to the opening of the observatory, kind of gets Commissioner Gordon's keys and plays on the fact that she's pitting Batman and Robin together
against each other, which is so weird because this is a straight ripoff of actually one of the episodes. It's actually a couple of episodes in the 66 series where Eartha Kitt, that Catwoman, did the exact same thing with Batman and Robin.
Oh, because you said backstage there's something about Catwoman.
Utilizing her feminine wiles. Well, and also too, initially it wasn't supposed to be Poison Ivy. It was supposed to be Catwoman in the role. Like they were supposed to be Catwoman in this film and not Poison Ivy. Yeah, that's a whole long thing.
I did not see anything about that.
Yeah, because initially it was supposed to be at the end, Selena Kyle as Catwoman was supposed to be revealed as the girlfriend of Bruce Wayne. And yeah, they were supposed to. Yeah, it's dumb. This whole movie's dumb. Everything about this movie's dumb.
Like I said, even Mr. Freeze was not supposed to be this Mr. Freeze. It was supposed to be a lot more of a non-actiony kind of Mr. Freeze.
He's supposed to be like the exact interpretation of the episode. Yeah, well, Ed Harris would have worked very, very well.
Yeah,
and actually an older gentleman as well as Mr. Harris is. Yeah. So we have
we have
Alfred's
Barbara
got a diagnosis, and then Robin's kind of demands that he wants his own bat sign, and he's like, well, no, because it's always Batman and Robin, not Robin and Batman. We're like, well, yeah, because literally and also alphabetically it works better, but anyway.
and again, this is like, okay, you had something here that you could have turned into a Nightwing franchise, but you fucked it up at the end. And you, like I said, there are moments that you could have built on if you wanted to proceed with a franchise.
Yeah.
But you fucking fucked it up. And you wrecked it for WB. Wrecked it hard.
So we have the whole bit where obviously it's the reveal that they know that Freeze has a cure.
Yeah.
But so then we have Alfred giving the final message to Barbara.
And Barbara kind of cracking it with the Margaret kind of password. And the first thing she sees is like schematics for the Batmobile. I was like, it's okay. I get it. And when she goes in and she has that reveal with Alfred, is like the AI Alfred. Sorry.
Oh, I hate it so much too, because she sounds like she's mentally deficient, because she sounds like a fucking toddler. No, it's me, Uncle Alfred. Well, no fucking shit. And you're talking to a computer.
And it's not that. It's the fact that the AI Alfred kind of acts like, do you remember from Back to the Future 2, Reagan and Khomeini, right?
Oh, yeah.
Arguing. It's that kind of an AI. And I was like, that is so fucking dumb, man.
In a way, without the actual like effects, it reminds me of the Max Headroom AI, where it was glitchy.
It's that kind of a version of an AI. It's so goddamn stupid. It really is. It just does not work. Just make him speak like you recorded a message, right? It's like, oh, you've cracked the message I kind of left for my brother. So I've made you a suit. And then she has the same kind of suit up moment.
Scene? Yeah. Need a montage.
Yeah. And
what's so funny too is the fact that they don't have her breasts out with the nipples. They have a little bra over where the nipples are. They still had to have bad nipples, but like, no, cover them.
Yes.
She's modest.
And the thing about it, later on when they're on the sort of like ice version of the suit, she has the bat kind of thing on her head as a helmet, but then when she takes it off, you can tell it's rubber. So it's not it's a helmet, but it's not really a helmet. It's just rubber on her face.
Is like, why did they have randomly a costume change? Like this is supposed to be an urgent set of situations. Why did you wait? So you switched into a silver bit? What the actual
why
fuck
the
is going
silver
on?
All of a sudden? Why? You were in the suits. So wait, hold the action. We've got 11 minutes. Let us have the silver version of the suits, because silver goes really well with ice.
And if hey, listen, if our costumes don't match, then quite frankly, was the victory worth it? I don't think so.
and this is after we have this moment where they have that argument, and then you're like, okay, he's fucking it up. But then he goes in, she kisses him,
okay,
and he reveals the fake lips,
yeah. which I thought that was kind of a clever touch. I thought that was fine. That was fine.
Yeah.
One thing I do have to go back just a little bit, because there's a couple of puns that I needed to cover, because it's very, very, very kind of just funny. When Mr. Freeze and Bane are setting up the massive freeze ray in the observatory.
Yes.
Where he goes, don't listen to what they say, Mr. Bane. It is the size of the gun that counts.
When Bane places the bombs, it was like, bomb. Like, Why are you telling us that these are bombs?
That and then when he has the whole thing about if revenge is a dish best served cold, then wear your Sunday best. It's time to eat or something like that. Like, what is that line? There's no use for that line.
I have no idea. Now, when Batgirl comes in,
then we have also Robin there, where she goes, "Is your thumb the only part of you that's green?
Green.
Well, you have to check out. All right.
This is the most like
we have the bit where the vines come to get Batman. Oh, pardon my vines, they have a crush on you.
Crush on you. Ugh.
And then also Batgirl fights her, and then why does Batman have bat pruners and a little little sawzall?
A bat jigsaw.
This is the weirdest thing. And also, she says out loud curses, and that made me laugh so fucking hard. You know why?
Because it's a Yosemite Sam line? I don't know.
I was thinking of Orgasmo.
Oh,
remember when Orgasmo?
That's right.
The guy refers to him, curses! Curses?
And this is the weird part is this is PG.
Yeah.
So she can say shit once. I mean,
well, and then right after this, there's a thing where she's like,
you haven't
Batgirl, and Batman immediately goes, "What? Not Bat person or Bat woman?"
Have you seen the new Superman? No, right?
No, not yet.
I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but let's just say they stretched the PG-13 quite thin.
But then right after this, Barbara goes.
I want to talk about this. This line made no sense. It was like, yes, she is using her feminine white. Obviously.
Yeah.
Stating the obvious, mind you.
We prove multiple times in this film that Barbara is not the sharpest tool in the shed, because right after this she goes, duh, Bruce, it's me, Barbara. Well, no fucking shit. Look at your fucking face. How the hell can I get...
No. The glasses threw him off.
Oh, God. Dick Grayson again. Dick Grayson was from a family of fucking carnies, so nobody knows who he really is. Batman wears the whole full fucking mask because otherwise he's Bruce Wayne and people would recognize him if he just wore a little eye slit thing.
Yeah.
No, this is no, it's me, Barbara.
Duh. It's sort of a line you would expect from a Clueless movie. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I know. It's so bad. Right after this, we do get the line that where Arnold can say, "Let's kick some ice."
Oh my God! And then
after that he did say, "So we're speed running the rest of this."
Yeah.
And what I do want to know is they like one of the Mr. Freeze cars shoots a freeze ray at the Batmobile, but it deploys a shield that reflects the ice ray, where it's like, how? But even your own doesn't make any fucking sense.
I love you, Griffin. This me, Mario. Duh, it's me, Barbara.
After that, we have the confrontation with Freeze and Bane, where she refers to him as a snowman. Something about everybody melted. Everybody like no, maybe he's hibernating. Like, oh, fuck this movie.
Yeah, there's so many moments in this.
And the relay scene. I told you I marked down all the puns. I'm gonna get through them. God damn it.
The moment where they fall down is like, I got you. It's like, no, I got you. And it was like, is this a Batman story or a Superman story? What the
Their
fuck?
arms would have been just like immediately ripped out of socket, and it'd be like, yep, yeah, one of you's fallen to your death because I can't support your body weight. Anyway, we have the bit where he says, the four guys, a freeze is coming.
A freeze is coming.
And one of the fucking scientists says it's one of those days. Like, you've been through this shit before, man? Like, what kind of life are you leading, bud?
Who was the scientist? Who was the scientist who said that?
Oh, I can't remember. No, I know the actor's name too.
It's not about what the name of the actor. Do you know what movie he did with Joel Schumacher?
Yeah, I can't remember now though.
Falling Down. He is the Korean store managers who is having the other side of I'm having that day.
So referential to that film
correct.
And then after the fight, Mr. Freeze is not the only one who uses puns. He gets Mr. Freeze knocked down and he says, "What?" Like a song from the 80s, "The heat is on."
Yes. As he turns on the heat on Gotham. No, he did it later. Holy shit.
That was the plan. But then he says later obviously he can't just say burn in hell, so he says, "No, Batman, freeze in hell."
Yeah, what was that all about?
All right. Well, technically, according to Dante Alighieri in the Divine Comedy, the last row, you can technically freeze in hell, but
oh my God.
I'm giving this movie too much credit.
Yeah, way too much credit. Now, Batman kind of abuses these two scientists after he defrosts them. They're literally hanging on that telescope while Batman is moving the telescope all about. And they're like, ah! Screaming and shouting. Why don't you just put him down first?
Also, the little tiny fucking little goddamn bat grappling hooks. What is the tensile strength of the goddamn cords they use? Because
how long are they?
Yeah,
because holy shit. Yeah, never mind.
This is not like 40K monomolecular wires that the fucking Harlequins use. This is like this is real fucking technology. Like no.
No. Now, the thing about her suit is that she does have bat nipples on them.
I know, she does, but they have a tasteful little thing over them.
No, the thing about it, when she does the suit up, you don't see it from that angle. You see it from up close, and it kind of has a bra on them.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
At this angle, you can actually see the contours of what it actually looks like, and the contours does have a bat nipple on them. Ay. It's all rubber suit, YouTube. It's all rubber suits.
So bad.
So Batman we're finished. It's like Mr. Freeze is there wallowing in anguish, and Batman's like, yeah, she's not dead yet. We kind of saved her. But I need you to save my butler first. And he has the most stupid pun in ever, and you will say it because it's yours and you wrote it down.
Oh no, you say it. You say it. This is yours, bud.
I can't. It's stupid. It's so stupid. Wait, I'm trying to.
Come on, no.
I'm trying to get to that point, but
if you give me the cure, I'll let you just be in Arkham. You can continue your research and everything. What is this?
Take two of these and call me in the morning.
It's not really a pun. It's more of a reference, but still, it's like, yep. All right.
They had to squeeze in that last.
Because he's a fucking doctor. You dummies. God, this movie's so bad. And then after that, too, then Alfred's fine. But they have the shot of Ivy and Arkham when he pops out. No, he has two more puns to end the film. Time for a bitter harvest, and then winter has come.
Yes. And this is before winter is coming, so
yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, George R.R. Martin, you fucking hack.
Ay. I like the fact that when they're all distraught, and when Alfred gets up, it's like, man, I taught you nothing. I at least I taught you to keep your house fucking arranged and in order. And
You have this giant fucking mansion. Why are you hanging around like you're in a 2-bedroom fucking apartment where you have to hang out in the fucking living room to make sure your friend's okay in the bedroom? But like, no.
With lots of pizza boxes all thrown all over the place.
I can understand you're fucking worried, but like, that
clean up, dude. You're a fucking billionaire. Clean up.
That Alicia Silverstone has to deliver the most like the most unsettling like pun delivery I've ever heard. Well, no, I'm the one who kicked her botanical ass, so I'm the one who saved the day.
If she wasn't so beautiful, God damn it, I would smack her in the face.
Then after that, what does was it Batman or is it Alfred? Is it Bruce Wayne or is it Alfred who says it? Like, oh, we're gonna need a bigger cave.
It's
where I'm like,
Alfred.
oh, fuck you! Stop referencing Batman movies.
Oh my God, it was that last line was so dumb. It was so dumb. It's like, why?
Why reference better?
You have to prove that you love movies. You have to prove that you love movies. What the fuck is wrong with you? Ay, man.
And then we have the classic run out scene that started really in Forever, right?
By the way, that cave is huge.
Like, I don't think you're gonna need a bigger cave. And apparently, like, how big is Wayne Manor? There's 4 fucking people living in it. I think you're good.
We're gonna have to do some. Come on, move! God damn it! We're gonna have some renovations on the West Wing. It's like, yeah, but that runoff is. I get it. Did you ever see the runoff and do it like critique their run? If it is Alicia Silverstone running, I don't know if it's them actually running. You can never tell if it's
most
actually
likely
them.
not.
It could be a full-on stand-ins.
I think it's probably just 3 stand-ins. Yeah,
dude, this movie had so many. I believe that those are stand-ins. Whoever stood in for Alicia Silverstone ran really funny as Barbara, aka Barbara Gordon, because she was running like this. I'm not even joking. I can't even press play because YouTube is gonna fucking kill my ass. But yes, she was running like this,
and there was absolutely
she was Steven Seagal running.
Oh no! Oh no! And Boba Fett mentioned the fact that she was overweight too. Oh no!
She came in. Yeah, I didn't mention it because I thought I was like, it's okay. She was overweight coming into this movie.
She was heavily criticized for it too.
Yeah. She had to drop it 10 pounds to get into the suit, but most of her suit stuff was done like earlier because you can tell when she's in Barbara before the suit, she's pretty hefty. She's not pretty hefty. She just looks like she's let's just say this. She's still thin. She just looks like she's going to be bigger.
What a massive chunker.
It's fine. Hey, I'm one of those people who are like, I even like Alicia a little bit fatter. It's fine.
Yeah, no, we mentioned that earlier. Like, O'Donnell never actually filmed with Arnold, even though they got along backstage, but they never actually filmed together.
No,
ever.
They spent some quality time backstage. They were, having a good time behind the scenes. Everybody kind of liked everybody. George Clooney was just not there because he was doing other things, like I said. But everybody else got along quite well behind the scenes. It was a pretty quiet set when it comes to actors fighting with other actors. And Chris O'Donnell, like I said, was just happy to fucking have work.
I'm getting a paycheck. I don't give a shit.
And this is like Chris O'Donnell with like Scent of a Woman, Three Musketeers, like 90s was pretty good for Chris O'Donnell. It's later on that was like a bit of a problem.
Like right now, I have to mention like everybody, Sean William Scott, and basically everybody that's doing American Reunion right now are like, paycheck. All right.
Yo, yeah.
Don't care.
Anyway, we actually made it past the 2-hour mark, which I am fucking surprised with this movie. I thought it would be a shorter episode.
Totally, no, I had to go through the puns. I had to.
Yeah, well, anyway, let's, for the sake of me going to bed, plus
Yes.
I have another engagement, I promised 7 minutes to Pop Culture Minefield and Gary and the guys. So
All right.
Let's wrap this up. This was a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Pretty bad when it comes to like production stuff, but the actors got along. I'm saying the best things. There were some good moments in there, but they were just squandered. They were just squandered. And the fact that the studio let toy makers design your shit and your director going at the route of, oh, this is just a cartoon, just made this movie insufferable and very insufferable to watch critically. So I do understand all the critics that had to watch this movie back in the day.
Yep. I would say flat out, if you want to watch this movie, don't. Just watch season 1 of Batman animated series. It has the introduction of Poison Ivy, which is great. The Two-Face, both of those episodes, and the last episode is Heart of Ice, which is pretty much what half the movie is. So just watch that instead.
The best thing about this movie is that the animated series did it better. Go watch it.
Yep.
And yes, Boba Fett, I did say Akiva Goldsman is not a good writer at all.
Oh, we never talk about Lost in Space. Matt LeBlanc's terrible one film career.
Anyway, we'll save that for another day. However, it is time to leave. And remember, guys, before we remember, next week, I wanted to have, I know he's controversial, I wanted to have Ethan Van Sciver on the show. He can't make it. He's way too busy doing whatever he's doing.
Yep.
We had a back and forth. Couldn't get him on. It's fine. I know people kind of dislike him. I wanted to have his take on the movie we're going to talk about next week because it is Green Lantern. The Ryan Reynolds, don't make this suit animated or green kind of movie. Anyway, we'll talk about that next week. So go watch Green Lantern just as a refresher. I've already seen it. It's not as bad as I remembered.
All I'm saying, from the last two films that you've watched the last 2 weeks, Green Lantern must be kind of a breath of fresh air.
Oh, yeah.
Because even Ryan Reynolds in a bad movie is still Ryan Reynolds. We're like, he's still charming. Fuck you, dude.
Go watch Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern as a refresher. Yes, another WB as preparations for the
next
end
week
of the month.
Yeah.
Because it actually, that kind of correlates with another movie that comes out at the end of the month. You do the math.
It's like we timed this.
It's as if we timed this. No, go watch Green Lantern for next week and come back and watch us tear apart that movie completely. Because remember, guys, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. We'll see you next week. You're still here? It's over.